everyone. Welcome to yet another discussion on Monday Munching with Women in Water. I wholeheartedly welcome all of you. This session is conducted with the support of Water Resources Council of the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and in collaboration with W4W Foundation and its media partners Counterview. My name is Vandana and I am the National Youth Representative of the Research for the Wiki Water Resources Council. I'm joined by Dr. Mansi Bal Bhargav, who would be, off and on Zoom. She's currently the national president of the Wiki Water Resources Council, and I'm also joined by my colleague Priyanka, who will be joining in the session. Today we are all gathered here to listen and know more about Jyothi. Jyothi is the national state president for Andhra Pradesh, and she has played a tremendous role. And today we are going to understand her journey into the water sector. Jyothi, let me just quickly begin. If you can take us through your journey into the water sector and what is the current work that you are doing, maybe it will help everybody to understand your role presently.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Vandana. Before starting the session, I wanted to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for this opportunity and for making a part of this wonderful platform, Wiki. And about my journey, actually, I started my journey with water. You know, everyone's life, water plays a pivotal role. But I'm an educator and also a researcher. And I completed my master's in microbiology. So after that, in the year 2008, I submitted my pre-PhD thesis. And that work main motto was to identify the status of pollution of a shallow pond. Okay. So that time I selected temple ponds, very small temple ponds. So I started figuring out the status, that is whether it is oligotrophic, eutrophic or mesotrophic. That means in terms of pollution. So I selected a pond which is a temple pond, a famous Himachalam temple pond in the vicinity of Visakhapatnam. So there I collected some of the important biological indicators. I used biological indicators as microalgae, they are a phytoplankton, to assess the pollution status. So then that time I also studied on various environmental factors, some hydrographic factors, like what are the parameters which are influencing the structure of the water body, both externally and also internally in terms of physical and chemical parameters. And what are the other anthropogenic activities which are causing pollution to the ponds. So like that, I studied some ponds. Along with that, my pre-PhD selected work. I also studied, after submission of the thesis also, I studied some more ponds. Then I extended my research work towards the freshwater reservoirs. So I studied I have selected three freshwater reservoirs as my case studies to submit my PhD thesis. And then also same kind of study I have undertaken, but there also I have noticed the hydrographic parameters and other important environmental parameters which are changing the structure of water bodies. I have carried out seasonal studies, like which season is affecting the water bodies, what parameters are causing the persistence or the survival of other organisms other than phytoplankton. And I submitted my thesis in the year 2014, PhD thesis. And in the same year, I was awarded a postdoctoral fellowship, that is a women scientist scheme from Government of India, that is of 5 years. So till that time, I've noticed the structure of how the structure of water body will look like, what are the parameters present within it, and also what are the external parameters are influencing the water body changes. So then I started my work in my postdoctoral fellowship program. I started my case study by using the Bay of Bengal coast. So I started isolating again same biological indicator organisms from the coastal region. And then I implemented how to remove the pollution status of the aquifer by using that microalgae which have isolated from the Bay of Bengal, and I mobilized those organisms. I used them to treat heavy metals and other toxicant. And that was a kind of industrial wastewater pollution removal technique. So that time, and again, also I have noticed some, I studied thermodynamic conditions and other kinetics which are influencing the removal process. And I had suggested some advocacies at the end of my thesis. And after that, I also worked with some NGOs which are working mainly on conserving coastal ecosystem. There, we implemented plantation of mangroves and the plantation of some seagrass bed. That is
Okay.
to minimize the erosion process. And also, I also involved in giving awareness about the water management and pollution mitigation strategies in the rural areas. That is also along with some government programs and also with NGOs. And there we started conducting community outreach programs involving youngsters in the programs and creating some awareness training camps to the self-help groups and we also I also stressed on cultivation of those crops which can take very less water content compared to the normal paddy wheat cultivation crops. So we are stressing on mostly on the drought tolerant plant cultivation like millets, so which require a very less amount of water, and also their harvest can be handled within a short time period. So, and I
Great,
also
Jyothi.
working with
I think,
some NGOs which are also creating awareness in environmental sustainability programs like dispersing seed balls,
yeah,
deforestation techniques awareness, and we are spreading this water management practices through art, art and some other
very
creative
nice.
forms, and such kind of activities currently I'm dealing with.
Jyoti, when I was going through your CV, the number of book chapters, the number of research publications that you have brought out, I mean, this is enormous. And I really felt short in terms of, saying that what is Jyoti all about. I'm glad that you kind of briefed our audience in general about such a vast work that you have done. So really kudos to you for having done that.
Thank you.
Now, when I am seeing you, you are doing so much of work and from coastal to industrial wastewater to engaging with communities, everything. I'm sure you must be finding out a way in terms of how do you really balance your work and family life. Would you like to share with us how do you
Yes, yes,
manage
of
working on
course.
so many fronts? You are engaging
Yeah,
on
yeah.
so many fronts and then also
Yes.
family.
Actually, maintaining this work-life balance is a personal journey for everyone.
Yeah.
And this maintenance of this work-life balance is essential for women. Particularly, they often juggle multiple roles, and
Yes.
including professional responsibilities, family obligations, and also personal interest. There are many challenges faced by women during these conditions, like they has to manage both career and also household duties, leading to increased stress. And they may encounter certain bias or a lack of support in the workplace, making it harder to balance roles. And also, there are certain cultural norms. They may pressure women to prioritize family obligation responsibilities over career. But of course, there are presence of some strategies to balancing. That is, setting up of some clear boundaries between work and professional life to avoid such kind of burnouts, and using some tools like to-do list and also time blocking to prioritize both work and personal tasks. And we need to engage our family members sometimes in sharing the responsibilities at home. And like if you and we can join in professional networks or any women groups for support, example for mentorship or sharing ideas or sharing any experiences to relieve the stress. And some self-care practices like mindfulness and also stress management, such as yoga, meditation, and regular exercise also helps to relieve, manage our stress. And dedicate some time for hobbies, some personal interests like social work, any kind of hobbies like painting or any other personal interest or any social activities to recharge. And at the same time, we can also raise some awareness about the importance of work-life balance for women's health and productivity during our environmental sustainability programs.
Jyoti, so many things that you have mentioned. While I understand that you wanted to broadly comment on what women face in general and what are the certain ways out, I would like to perhaps know from you your own personal experience. Did you face any kind of challenge? Who came out perhaps in support at the family front, even at the work front? Because subsequently we'll be also discussing the roles which perhaps the young future water managers perhaps need to keep in mind. But for now, if you can just throw us some light on what was your very personal encounter, who really supported you
Actually,
eventually?
these traditional gender roles,
Yeah,
they often position men as decision makers,
yeah,
particularly in technical fields like this water management sector.
got it.
And this can obviously discourage the participation of women in such kind of fields.
Yeah,
And sometimes women also have very limited access to education and the training in the relevant fields such as any engineering and also the environmental sciences core group. So most of the women, they may not have such kind of knowledge in that sector. So it also reducing their opportunities to engage in water policy discussions and also decision making process.
certainly.
And this water governance structures also, they may not prioritize gender inclusion, and which also leads to a lack of support for women involvement in policy making decision. And certainly there is a presence of a stereotype, types and
Yeah,
some bias, like which can affect perception of women capabilities in technical and leadership roles,
yeah,
which results in very presence of few women being considered for makers positions. And they are often underrepresented in fields like data analytics or any other technical resource management courses, which also hinders the encouragement of women to participate in such kind of activities. And also the demands of technical roles in water management sector, particularly, it can
yeah.
be difficult to balance with family responsibilities, which also
True.
disproportionately affect women.
True, 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 Jyoti. Now that you are saying that Jyoti has been encountering and all these challenges and yet being able to deliver on so many fronts, as you mentioned in the first half of our discussion today, maybe you can take us through your daily routine. That what time does Jyoti's day starts? What do you do throughout the day? How does your day end? Can you take us through that cycle?
Actually, I woke up by 5:30, not 5:30, 5 o'clock. Sometimes 4:30 also, because
Okay.
I my work hours are 8 to 5 o'clock. So
Okay.
I need to manage my kids also. I'm a mother of two girl childs,
Oh,
so I
wonderful.
need to, yeah, send them to the school. So after that, I like from morning to till evening 5 o'clock. I reach home by 6 p.m. every evening. Sometimes, if the research work or this case studies were in remote areas,
Yeah,
sometimes I reach my home by 9:30, after 9 p.m. also. Some rare situations. That time I'll take the help of my parents, especially my mother. She will
right.
take, yeah, backbone of my all these endeavor research studies.
Absolutely.
So, and daily I practice meditation, yoga in morning, 5 to 6.
I'm sure Mansi would be missing this, conversation because she herself, I mean, I met her almost a decade ago and she was practicing it. And ever since then, I've seen her very regular. And it's a great thing that you are also doing, Jyoti. Wonderful to know about your personal routine. I want to come back to that point where you mentioned that women are not in so much of leadership roles. You did highlight that maybe the technical competence is often suspected that may not exist. But what else do you think really contributes that women are not so? I mean, not so many women are in leadership roles
Yes.
because we have among us within the Wiki Council some of the women which are really leading multiple fronts. And Dr. Nivedita is also here. When we were interacting with them also, so they are all heading different departments within institutions, etc. So very few women, like you can really count them on fingertips. So what according to you are the reasons that there are only very few women in such leadership roles?
Uh, Actually, we can enhance the presence of the count of women in leadership position, like by implementing some policies which aim to include women in water governance and
Okay.
also decision making process, and also by providing community capacity building programs, by providing training and resources to empower women in water management and policy. We can set gender quotas. We can fight for that, setting up of gender quotas in decision making bodies to represent women in that procedure. And we can also promote importance of women's perspective in water issues, uh, highlighting their role in sustainable environmental management. And we can facilitate the networking opportunities for women like Vicky in the water sector to build a strong relationship and for sharing knowledge and ideas.
Great, Jyoti, to know that so many initiatives one has to take. And I also want to perhaps maybe draw an analogy with what is happening in our political leadership, let us say right now. Again, despite all quotas and everything, the leadership essence, for the namesake, yet at least we have been able to fill in some seats thanks to some quota system that you are referring to. But still, that real ability to take decision, ability to execute power doesn't happen. Maybe looking at the political leadership, do you see any similarity of what is happening in perhaps water sector as well? Do you feel that what is happening in political leadership is perhaps the reflection of what is happening with women in water sector?
That is obviously the underrepresentation of women. They are not recognizing in any of the sectors, even though some women are being recognized. But some women should, as a leader, they should possess some characteristics, such as they could collaborate and like they often emphasize collaboration. Women can like fostering partnership among stakeholders, including communities, NGOs, and government agencies.
Right.
And women leaders, they tend to prioritize inclusivity and ensuring that voices of marginalized groups are heard, considering in water management decisions. And also enhancing the communication, effective communication of women leaders, enabling them to simplify the complex issues clearly and engaging different audiences in discussions about water management. And adaptability and resilience, of course. Women demonstrate the adaptability in the face of challenges regularly. And they can employ, a leader should employ innovative solutions to address changing water management needs and also the environmental sustainability conditions. And a good women leader should also approach water management from a holistic perspective, considering social, economical, and also the environmental factors to create comprehensive solutions.
Yes.
And they should be community centric focus. That is, women are often deeply connected with their communities, prioritizing local needs and knowledge in water management initiatives. And they should exhibit strong vision, strategic thinking skills, and enabling the women leaders to engage in water management effectively. And women leaders, they also often advocate for gender equality and also the women empowerment and uh, participation of young girls in water management and recognizing the importance of from diverse perspectives. And above all these, a strong commitment to sustainability will drives many women leaders to implement the practices which protect water resources and also certainly promotes environmental health.
Yes, Jyoti, you are absolutely right because I mean, you are organically taking us to the next level of the probing as well. That while most of us are all, largely invested into Wiki through Mansi, and Mansi's vision and Mansi's clarity of thoughts and her personal commitment into this issue has perhaps brought us all together under this one umbrella. And through Monday Munching, we are reaching out to so many more women to understand. Just a build on question into this only that maybe you can also bring to us that what role can a council or a body like Wiki really play a role in building that women, leadership competencies and skills that you have spoken about, and also, just a general attitude development. How do you think what role possibly can be played by bodies like Wiki, the WRC that we have?
These councils like Wiki are very important platforms for networking, sharing ideas, and we were all grouped like different women from different sectors, efficient leaders. They are all in one platform. Definitely, Wiki is playing a major role in reforming water policies and these water governance decision-making process of the government. It is showing everything, but one of my suggestion is promote the women entrepreneurs who are involved in doing business, which finally causes results in the environmental sustainability in the council.
Okay.
So recognize such kind of enterprises which are related with environmental sustainability
Okay.
results.
Do
And
you know of anyone that you want to perhaps highlight at this moment? A woman entrepreneur who's
actually, I want to start enterprise,
ah,
millet
okay.
enterprise. So,
Great.
yes, because I want to stress this core subject because to save water, these millets are again, they are gluten free, they are health promoting, everything they are used for oncological purpose, everything. And but the main important thing when compared to other crops in our society, these millets are very less water consuming and they are very productive. They'll give the crop harvest within a short period of time.
Yeah,
So now I am working on the use of very less water for crop development, like sprinkle irrigation, drip irrigation methods, and also maintenance of soil moisture in normal paddy fields,
got
paddy and also turmeric, ginger fields, which are mostly in our rural areas, near Vishakhapatnam areas.
got it.
And also the we need to develop a digital app, one app, mobile app,
Okay.
where we can easily see everything about the wiki. The
Okay.
main point that is where a particular exact water resource is located and which women is carrying the work of such water bodies. What are the problems facing globally, and who are mitigating, and which agencies are involved in that? What are the any case study results reports,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Very interesting, Jyoti. Now that you're mentioning, so many thoughts are crossing our mind that, so far the digitization is only on perhaps indicating who all are there in on a map. But we,
And also financial literacy, like
yeah,
fundraising. financial support also we
Very,
need it.
very good. I think you are giving us too much homework, and I believe as Vicky, we are all together. So now that we are noticing that these certain capabilities we perhaps need to build on, I also wanted to understand what are you really doing as part of your leadership team within your region? Have you guys met? What kind of events have you planned? Is there anything that you feel like discussing at the moment?
Wherever I go for this environmental programs, I proudly introduce myself as a wiki member,
Wonderful to hear that.
and then I'll start my work. And I'm working towards the water endeavor, such as I will conduct same kind of outreach programs, will give workshop about the sanitation, healthiness, ecosystem, and efficient water management strategies, waste disposal, etc. Whatever related to water, not only in my area and also the surrounding rural areas also we used to visit along with the help of some other stakeholders, NGOs, and government agencies. And when we go to the rural areas, we'll take the help of Panchayat Raj workers and ASHA workers, self-help groups. We'll conduct some meetings. There we'll give some training like what is water, how it is important for the villages, what kind of role it is playing in our lives, how to manage the water resource, how to minimize the consumption of water in domestic and also for their agricultural uses. And also in the urban areas also and we are also explaining the strategies regarding the flood management and also the drought management strategies. And by giving training like construction of rainwater harvesting pits, how to construct, where to build, what is the importance of these water conservation strategies. Whereas in case of urban, such type of rainwater harvesting can be done by through that is what is permeable construction of permeable pavements,
Mhm.
green areas. Water can absorb easily into that, and also some landscaping through xeriscaping. That is xeriscaping means what it use of very less water. Landscaping with the help of those plants which require less or sometimes without water they'll grow. In some ways, we are minimizing the usage of water.
Great. I think too much work and so many things to do within this particular water sector. And I'm glad that you are working both in terms of rural as well as urban areas, because many a times, many of us, even though we have intent, we are unable to work in those kinds of regions. So, very happy to note that you are able to work in both the regions. When you see your journey so far as, not only in terms of overall in water sector, but also as, Wiki member for all these years, what kind of capacity building do you think that we as a council should perhaps have for all of us? In terms of the women who are in different, like we have city presidents, we have state presidents, we have district presidents. What kind of capability? Maybe you can even focus on just the Andhra Telangana region that you are looking into. If that is anything that you want, that perhaps we could plan as a capacity building event. You very well mentioned about fundraising, that you definitely want to perhaps get some info about that how to perhaps engage in fundraising. Any other thing that you feel that as Wiki council member you should be perhaps groomed on?
It is very imperative and appreciable when any of the national president, not only a state national member,
Yeah.
participation of other wiki members will also be useful to attract more number of stakeholders or NGOs, such kind of thing. Not only always the a single member. I have a group. I have a group. I usually involve my friends, my family members, my peers, and also students, mostly youngsters, because they play a very important role in environmental conservation, because they are the, I believe that they are definitely a future leaders for such kind of activities. Mostly I involve my students, some scholars of my peers.
Yeah.
And I'll take the help of the others in that. But it is always, sometimes it will be imperative if along with me, any other council member would participate in that. It will
Okay.
be also very beneficial and attractive.
Very interesting.
Because
And
during this journey, we are we're meeting other official government bodies.
yeah,
So
yeah, the more the
showcasing the
merrier.
group, yes, sometimes, if possible, otherwise, no.
No, no, I think if we make this kind
Nearby
of forum
leaders.
exchange, yes, forum exchange possibilities with so many women involved, I think that kind of a network power definitely we can use to our favor. Great, Jyoti. We are now. I'm going to rope in my colleague Priyanka to take this conversation forward, and slowly, steadily, I'll see that if Mansi has better network, she can also join in. We all were very excited to have you, Jyoti, today. Over to you, Priyanka. Please continue the conversation. I'm very much here.
Thank you, Vanya, ma'am. So, ma'am, you have already made so many good points. Further, any message you may wish to share with young professionals, especially women entering or considering taking up water profession?
Uh, Madam, I didn't get you. Sorry.
So, any message, anything
Message.
more, any more suggestions that you may
Yes,
wish
yes.
to share?
Message is I want to focus on the involvement of youngsters, young people, young girls, not only girls, boys also. So leader means not only women. We sometimes we should also follow men, because if their policies, their properties are attractive, then definitely we'll follow when we could implement. And I'm stressing the participation of youngsters because they bring innovative ideas and solutions to water management challenges, and because their ideas are very creative, which are very useful for sustainability and also the conservation strategies. And they, as the future leaders and decision makers, they shape the long term management and the preservation of water resources for generations to come. And young people can effectively advocate for water related issues. They can raise awareness about conservation among their circle, and they can also good at raising awareness regarding pollution, climate change impacts within their communities. And because they serve as bridge between some community groups, facilitating discussions, and also the promoting collective action in this water endeavor. Because they are very good at technology and innovation, they can use digital tools for this data collection, monitoring, and also communication about the issues related to water sector. And they can engage educational initiatives, and also they help inform their peers, and also spread this message about the water strategies to a wider community. And there also that causes making importance of responsible water use and conservation. And young people develop because of this, they develop skills including leadership, teamwork, problem solving, and preparing themselves for future roles in environmental stewardship. And they have often have unique understanding of all the technical issues whatever are present, and they have a knowledge on the local environment, cultural practices, and which can inform more context specific actions towards the conservation strategies. So young people are often more committed to environmental issues. So driving initiatives that prioritize ecological balance and also the resource conservation.
True, true. All of
So
this
in
is so true. Inclusivity is required.
yes,
Yes,
more participation of youngsters.
yes. So, some suggestions on how this inclusivity could be brought in.
Suggestions like as India is navigates the evolving dynamics of its agricultural sector, and the challenges and other opportunities within this agricultural policy for food security become increasingly evident. So, with the right blend of innovation and proper technology and policy reforms, the agriculture sector can regain its strength and ensuring food security for all citizens. And however, this kind of transformation requires collective efforts of industry players, citizens, and most of all, the expertise of skilled policymakers.
Yeah, true.
So we should insist this point in
Yes.
policy making procedure in water governance.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So, thank you, ma'am, for this enlightening interaction. I felt the conversation was flowing like water and thus enjoyed it a lot. And there were so many suggestions and so many new ideas to work upon. I hope you feel the same and enjoyed the conversation too. May
Yes,
you remain an inspiration to others. And we are so grateful to have learned about your water endeavors. May you continue your water activities and keep us posted about it. We shall continue with our Monday munchings and musing with women for water every Monday at 5 p.m. and look forward to learning more from
definitely.
more women in the water sector.
Thank you.
Yeah.